Video game enthusiasts are treated to a new generation of consoles every 3 to 5 years. Gaming differs from other forms of art in this sense. It's as if a novel method to enjoy music or movies is created every few years. Yes, technology has improved throughout the years in all areas. However, these so-called console generations are where gaming began. Here are the top 10 best gaming consoles of all time. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Number 10. Sega Genesis. To compete with Nintendo's more kid-friendly gaming, Sega joined the market in 1989. And although that decision may today appear random, Sega found that it was a successful one for several years. Games like Sonic the Hedgehog, Golden Axe, and Earthworm Jim significantly expanded the market's scope, while the Genesis or its precursor, the Master System, aren't quite as well remembered as Nintendo's historic platforms. They did have an effect. These games caught the essence of the 90s. Heck, 35 million copies of the Genesis were sold. Number 9. NES. After Atari nearly brought the market to its knees, the NES platform radically revitalized at-home gaming. This was the starting point for many of gaming's most popular brands, with some of the most recognizable faces in video games like Zelda, Kirby, and of course, Mario, receiving their humble beginnings on the gray brick. There's a reason these games keep getting re-released. They're still a lot of fun and addicting. The NES console itself featured a large library of minimal competition, as well as some cutting-edge technology, such as Duck Hunt's in-home light cannon. Almost everything about this 35-year-old console is still in good condition. Number 8. Nintendo Switch. After years of obscurity with a badly selling Wii U, Nintendo appeared to be following in Sega's footsteps by ceasing production of consoles and instead distributing its titles to the superior platforms of the day. But then, Nintendo surprised everyone by releasing the Switch. When it was initially shown in October 2016, not everyone was convinced of the concept of a console that could also function as a portable handheld. But with massive titles like The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it seemed difficult for gamers not to embrace Nintendo's strange new notion. And gamers opted in. The Switch continues to sell like hotcakes, and with Microsoft and Sony's latest attempts to provide their console experiences on portable displays, the Switch's enduring effect can already be felt. Number 7. Super Nintendo. For many, the SNES is still the gold standard of video gaming consoles. It pushed the industry into the 16-bit era, offered forward-thinking visuals, and was even capable of some crude 3D. The SNES's most remarkable feature, though, was its limitless collection of innovative games. Super Mario World rewrote the book on platforms. The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, arguably invented a new genre. There's also Donkey Kong Country, Super Metroid, Star Fox, Super Mario Kart, and so forth. People are rediscovering the brilliance of Super Nintendo with the addition of the SNES library to the Nintendo Switch's online service. I envy people who are only now having the opportunity to play it for the first time. Number 6. PlayStation. Contrary to popular belief, the Sony PS1 was released before the Nintendo 64. While Nintendo's 1996 console is often considered as the machine that propelled the industry into the third dimension, it was the PS1 that accelerated everything in 1995. Sony's platform introduced fans to 3D gaming with games such as Metal Gear Solid and Final Fantasy VII. It provided hilarious kid games like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon, while also taking a more serious, mature approach to the business. The PlayStation 1 was a seminal platform. However, it was ultimately eclipsed by a significantly better sequel, the PlayStation 2. Number 5. Nintendo 64. The Nintendo 64 characterized our childhood for those of us who grew up in the 1980s and 1990s. Though Sony's PS1 was essential in bringing gaming into 3D, it was the N64 that truly demonstrated the range of experiences that 3D games could provide to consumers. Mario 64 established 3D platforming as an art form in and of itself. And The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time was probably the first masterpiece in gaming. Even though the N64's controller was clumsy, the cartridges were unwieldy, and the machine could often barely run its most demanding titles, the innovative and forward-thinking N64 remains the industry's peak. And no, you won't be able to beat me in GoldenEye. Number 4. Xbox Series X. To be fair, the Xbox Series X is only behind the PlayStation 5, which was released around the same time, and it has the potential to skyrocket in the coming years. The Xbox Series X has a lot going for it this early on. To begin, it is a champion of backward compatibility. Xbox Game Pass and its 400-game portfolio continue to reign supreme. However, with the Series X coming sans Halo, Infinite, and missing a Look at Me update, the PlayStation 5 once again wins the gaming crown. Number 3. Xbox. Microsoft established and owns the Xbox video game brand. The brand includes 5 video game consoles, as well as games, streaming services, an internet service called Xbox Network, and a development arm called Xbox Game Studios. It was Microsoft's first push into the gaming console business. The Xbox competes with Sony PlayStation 2 as part of the 6th generation of video game systems. The name Xbox was developed from a contraction of DirectXbox, a reference to Microsoft's graphics API DirectX. The integrated Xbox Live service, which debuted in November 2002, allowed gamers to play games online with or without an internet connection. It first competed with Dreamcast Online service, but subsequently largely with the PlayStation 2's online service. Xbox Live was a success due to better servers, features like a buddy list, and landmark games like Halo 2, which became the best-selling Xbox video game. Number 2. PlayStation 4. A home video game console called the PlayStation 4, PS4, was created by Sony Computer Entertainment. It competes with Nintendo's Wii U and Switches, as well as Microsoft's Xbox One, which is an 8th generation system. Instead of using its predecessor's more intricate cell microarchitecture, the console uses an AMD Accelerated Processing Unit, APU, based on the x86-64 architecture. The PlayStation 4 puts more of a focus on social engagement and connection with other hardware and software, including off-console play on the PlayStation Vita and other compatible devices. Number 1. PlayStation 5. In the upcoming years, the PlayStation 5 might certainly rise to this list. Just a baby in console years, that's all. Yes, it has all the oh shit visuals and tech specs you could need. Call of Duty, Black Ops Cold War, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and even Astro's Playroom were excellent, though restricted launch titles. But the PS5's narrative so far hasn't been like that, which is there aren't enough consoles on the market right now. The PS5 is frequently out of stock, therefore, not enough people have access to it to establish its legacy. So guys, that was it for this video. What did you think about our video? Let us know in the comments section below. If you are new to our channel, be sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell to get notified about our latest videos. Thanks for watching.